This is one of the many Quimper pieces that we have. We did talk about that on a podcast where we bought 27 pieces for $25. So that is less than $1 a piece. This piece sold for best offer of $225. So clearly we are thrilled about that. This is a beautiful wall pocket to put flowers in. It has a area in France written on the bottom. It's beautiful. So $225. I'm thrilled. This is a National Wild Turkey Federation patch. And we got a bunch of these from a guy at a yard sale. And this sold for $17 on our new store. These are 6 soffit vents for a house. And we got a whole big bag of these in a box lot at an auction. And we have 16 sets of 6. So these sold for $13 for 6. This is 4 yards of nice fancy fabric. It's got kind of a sheen to it. It's a screen print and it's got Scotchgard, and there is a designer's name on it somewhere. The designer's name is J. Yang, so it's very cool. And this sold for $50. This is the second piece of Quimper or Quimper pottery that we sold this week. This is a little sugar bowl. It's beautiful. Again, we bought it for less than $1, and we took an offer of $100 on this. Pretty nice. This is a 1970s Zero King wool coat that actually sold on Bonanza, and it sold for $66. So that's a great sale to add to the week. Okay, we have all seen this belt before because someone returned it. So the woman returned it, said it wasn't the right size, that we hadn't measured it properly, and that a couple of these were missing from hanging down. And she was right, actually. So we refunded all her money, and I relisted it at $40, which was the original price. And again, it sold. So it sold to someone in Los Angeles, which is kind of hilarious because the person who returned it was also in Los Angeles. So it went to Los Angeles, came back, now it's going back. So hopefully this person will like it. I have remeasured it and made sure I pointed out any flaws, and hopefully this person will keep it. These are a pair of Birkenstocks. They're Zurich model. They're in pretty good shape. And I think we paid maybe $1 or $2 for these. And they sold for $60 overnight. I just listed them yesterday. So I listed them without the template. Lots of stuff without the template has been selling. So people have been asking about that, and it's been fine. As long as all the measurements and the size and the details are in there. And the photos show everything. So $60 overnight. Yay! These are vintage German military suspenders. We got them when we bought a bunch of stuff from a military store that was closing. I think we paid $1 each for them. I think we bought about 20 pairs. And we sell them for $25 each. So they just sold, and we have a few left. These are a pair of Dansko brand Mary Janes. They're not really clogs, but they're kind of like clogs. Actually, I guess they are kind of like clogs. Now, we have talked about not wanting to sell Danskos because they eventually start to crumble on the shoe. On the sole, we've had a bunch of them start crumbling. But this sole felt pretty sturdy, actually. And these felt like they were almost brand new. So we decided to take a chance. And they sold overnight after I listed them for $50. These are Ives Brand, which is a brand of scullage. Scalage. How do you say that? It's a company that makes locks and hardware and stuff like this. They are door stops that you put on the wall so it stops the doorknob. Obviously they're new in package, and we bought like a whole box of these, maybe like 10 or 15 from some dude at a yard sale for super cheap. I've been selling them for $5 each, but I gave this guy a deal where they were $4 each. And there's 5 of them, so that's $20. I've had them for a while, and he wanted to buy all 5, so I was like, yep, $20 is great. And yeah, so I'm glad they sold. This is a Kenwood brand, you know, handheld mic for a walkie-talkie or a radio. It's like for a cop radio or one of those like trucker radios. And we went to a thrift store, and these were super cheap. There were like 3 of them. And there were holders too for like all this kind of walkie-talkie kind of cop like RV stuff. So this sold for $36.99 all by itself. This is a bottle of perfume called Alfred Sung, S-U-N-G. And for some reason I had this up for $80. I think I thought it was 1 ounce, but it's actually half an ounce. So that was kind of a mistake, actually. I didn't make the mistake on the listing. I did say that it was 0.47 ounces, but in my head I thought it was bigger. But I got an offer of $40, so that was half, and I thought, you know what? This is a small bottle, smallish bottle, so 40 is great. So I was happy about that. This is another lot of 3 wear guard work shirts in extra large. So this is 3 short sleeve work shirts that sold for $30. So that's $10 a shirt. Pretty good. This is one of the very cooler woodcuts. You can see it is sheep. Very curly furred sheep. And this sold all by itself for $40. So we bought 1 box of woodcuts for $10 for all different kinds. I think there might have been like 10, so $1 a piece. And this one sold for $40. This is a pair of vintage kitchen canisters. I took an offer of $15 on these because they are rough and I've had them for a very long time. So $15 and they're gone. This is a pair of cast aluminum. They feel lightweight, but they're pretty sturdy. Hooks for a shelf and a planter. I actually priced these at $50, which seems crazy, but when I was shopping for the farmhouse, I was looking for some like this. And they were very, very hard to find. I think I ended up finding these at a thrift store, and I did not end up using them at the farmhouse, so I sold them. So I put $50 on them because they're very hard to find. These are a cool style and a cool color, and they sold. So this is an odd assortment of Mr. Peanut stuff from Planters. This is an example of going to an auction, not being able to look around, and then bidding on something. Now, we thought this stuff was more vintage than it was. Like, the bowl is actually plastic. We thought it was glass. This we thought was older, but it's totally not. So we bid on it. I think we paid $10, which for us is a lot. And we took an offer of $40. So we did make money on it, which is fine. But not as cool as we thought it was. So this is another Life is Good hat. It says Hello Sunshine. You can see the little guy logo there, and it says Life is Good. And it sold for $25. Okay, you can see this through the plastic bag. It is a crazy patterned sheet set. It's actually the fitted sheet and the pillowcase only. And this sold for $30. This is a cute little vintage autograph book. It's never been used. I think a lot of little kids would use these at school, like to get their classmates' autographs, or, you know, like a yearbook. And this sold for $40, global shipping program. These are a pair of men's New Balance, very lightweight running shoes. They're called the Minimus. And even used, they sold for $60. So you know New Balance is something that people are definitely looking for. This is a cute textured drawstring backpack by Old Navy. It's pretty simple, but people love Old Navy bags. And a lot of times people are buying them because they had the exact same one and then they wore it out, and then Old Navy doesn't make the same one anymore. So this actually sold for $30. It looks super simple. It's like made out of some kind of nylon thread, but I guess someone was really looking for it. These are a pair of sporty men's Euro style Steve Madden sneakers in size 10, and they sold for $30. This is a pair of super 80s pink and clear glasses frames. There's no glass in them. Actually took the glass out as an experiment, and they still sold because someone's going to replace them with either sunglasses or their own prescription. And these sold for $37. This is a set of 4 vintage mid-century paper mache covered little cocktail trays. I've had these for a very long time, but they're so cool. I love the pattern. I just think it's incredible. And they're not marked. They just, on the back, they say alcohol proof, made in Japan. And they sold for $36.99, global shipping program. So these are 2 vintage military map cases. On the label it said they were Czech, so from Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic. You can see they have all these little holders. This is not leather, but this is leather. It's just a cool bag. And I think we bought them for like $2 each at this military place that was closing down, and they sold for $50 each to 2 different people in 2 different states on the same day. So I don't know if somebody linked to us or what, but it's always funny when something doesn't sell forever and then all of a sudden a bunch of them sell at once. We sold a bunch of hats over the weekend that you're gonna see now. This one is a thick canvas, almost like a sailboat sail canvas or whatever kind of boat. I don't know anything about boats. And this sold for $40. This is another similar hat that sold for $35. This is a cool vintage Irish Donegal wool tweed hat. You can see it's got the vintage label, Donegal. And then this is cool. Georgetown University shop. Definitely vintage. This sold for $50. So this is a bright orange hunter's hat for Ducks Unlimited. And this actually sold in our new store for $30. These are a pair of metal candle sconces that go on the wall. They're supposed to have a piece of glass right here, but the glass is not with these. The only reason we knew what brand they were is this tag. You can see it says Pottery Barn, rectangular glass wall sconce. I think we got these at an auction for cheap. They were in a box lot, and we sold them for $80 in our new store. This is a cool National Audubon Society patch. And as you know, that we buy and sell lots of patches because we think they're cool. And this sold for $13 in our new store. Okay, this might look just like a roll of regular fabric, but this is a roll of vintage raw denim from the Bluebell factory that used to be in the town that we live in. So there was a Bluebell Wrangler plant for a very long time here, and we got this at an estate sale from someone who worked there. Now I had this up for, I believe, $250. Because if you look at Bluebell, vintage Bluebell jackets or pants, they sell for a lot of money. I've had this up for a long time though, a few years, and someone gave me an offer of $200, and I gladly accepted that. So this sold today for $200. Another big sale that happened today was this pair of leather horse riding boots. I had these up for $2.99 best offer, and the person paid full price. So these sold for $300 to someone in Canada through the global shipping program. So with two sales totaling $500 today, we were absolutely thrilled. That's a rare occurrence to have two big sales like that in a row, so we were quite thrilled. This is a Seabees Can Do embroidered hat. Seabees are a division of the Navy, and this sold for 20 bucks. This is a wool hat made in Spain. As you can see, it's very cool. It's totally vintage. Nice wide brim hat. This sold for $60 in our new store. This is another National Park Ranger shirt. It's just plain, it's gray, it has no patches or anything on it, and it sold for $29. This is a lovely Cork Tray. It's got an inlaid brass and wood hummingbird, and on the back you can see the Cork logo and information. I love Cork trays. I think they're very cool, although they do not sell for very much money. I still always buy them because I just love them. This one sold for $25.
All right.
I like this. Okay, you just saw Jay and I do a little dance, and that is because one of my light fixtures, which I had painted myself, just sold. So the story behind this is I have talked about it on the podcast that I've been really into getting into people's Pinterest pages and blog posts about DIY lighting stuff. And one of the things that I saw is that I saw people painting things with a chevron check. Mostly I had seen this on, flower vases and things like that, but I thought I would try it with these lights. And I got this light fixture at Goodwill a couple weeks ago for $3. And I put it up for $125 with no offer or anything, because it was an experiment to see if they would sell. And they did. So they sold to someone, a global shipping program in Canada. So I took a $3 light, customized it, and sold it for $125. So we'll see if I'm successful on other ventures that are similar. So this is a cute little pillow that came in a box lot at an auction. Sometimes if you're buying just boxes of fabric and stuff like that, you can find a pillow in there. And the good thing is people buy pillows because pillows are expensive when you're just trying to get like random, mix and match pillows. So this actually sold for $15. So that's a pretty good price for just a random little pillow. And that's it for this week. See you next week.